Good morning and welcome back to day two. I'm so pleased to be here again. Yesterday was absolutely a fantastic day, and I'm sure today will be the same. I'm going to start with some information for the day. I think we've got an agenda slide coming up, just so you can see as we go through the day. The agenda is also on a QR code on your badges, so do have a look at that, and you'll see it on digital screens around the venue, so you can navigate around and find all of the fantastic panels that we've got going on today. The Wi-Fi code is also on your badge and around the event, so do plug into the on-site Wi-Fi. Really important is Slido. So we're going to be using Slido during the day for question and answers, because we've not only got people in this room, but we've also got, yesterday we had a couple of thousand people online, so they can also take part by using Slido. Again, Slido's up on the board. Just key in the QR code and it should come up. I want to say a massive thank you again to our partners. Yesterday's event, today's event would not have been possible without generous support from all of our partners. And I want to say a heartfelt thanks to them for being with us, particularly Department for Transport and our headline partner, DNV. And also a big thank you to our media partners and supporting organisations who are present all of today. And we've got some fantastic, I got a chance because I was here yesterday to go and see all of the different stalls and light boxes that we've got around the area. Please do go and introduce yourself to people. Now, really important is, and just like any great office, at 10 o'clock this morning there is going to be a fire alarm test. It is a test. Please don't leave the building. We're going to be in here for a big panel session at 10 o'clock, so I will remind you when it goes off that you don't need to leave. But I'm sure that will cause us all some amusement as we sit and listen to however the fire alarm works in this building. Before I introduce our first speaker, I just wanted to say, or maybe remind ourselves that yesterday we talked about the role of connected places in tackling the grand challenges of our time: population growth, economic change, climate transition, and regional disparities were particularly things that we looked at. At the end of the day, we asked people to say what had they changed in terms of their thinking during the day, and the feedback we got was around systems thinking, community connection, digital twins, blended finance, aligned politics, and the focus really always on that big picture and how we connect it together. Today, we're going to roll up our sleeves a little bit and we're going to get down to the detail of projects, which I hope will be absolutely fascinating. And I'm going to hand over now to our Chief Business Officer, Paul Wilson, who is going to start the day. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's really nice to have Erika with us as our Chief Executive. Really pleased to have her leading us. So as you know, we are the UK's innovation accelerator for cities, transport, and place leadership. We bring people, places, and businesses together to create a future of sustainable growth and prosperity. And yesterday, it felt like it. I heard lots of people say, I sat in a session that's nothing to do with what I normally do. I'm a transport person and I've sat in something about place. I'm a digital person and I sat in something about finance. I'm a place leader and I sat in something about the details of decarbonising heavy goods lorries. And that is the point, that actually it's the collaboration across different disciplines that is creating connected places. Something super important in our time as we move into an era where we need to bring regenerative growth. That complexity also means that people say, you guys seem to do a lot and get a bit lost about what you do. We hear that quite frequently. We run about 80 projects a year, and I suppose we're quite used to being told, don't quite get it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to talk through the 3 things that we do that makes everything cohere. And those 3 things are climate action, connected intelligence, and people's experience. So I'm going to give you a couple examples for each. Climate action. Yesterday we heard a lot about the Cities Commission for Climate Investment. This is a commission set up by the cities in the lead up to COP26. It's actually started by the core cities, the Connected Places Catapult, and the London councils. And since then, we've had the key cities, the Scottish Cities Alliance, the Local Government Association, and the M10 mayors join in together. That's now 60% of the UK's population, working together collaboratively on how to build projects to decarbonise our cities. Together, they've created over 1,000 projects, which add up to about £40 billion in decarbonising UK cities. And when you start talking about £40 billion, the global financial system starts to take an interest. And here we are in the middle of the city, and we bring together global financial players and UK city leaders to think about how can we finance that very important decarbonisation, which every city has now made a commitment to doing by 2030, 2035, 2040, and so on. 3CI, that's the first example. Second example is the work that we do with the Department for Transport. And they run all sorts of projects on net zero, or they call it zero emission freight, zero emission flight infrastructure, zero emission heavy goods vehicles, marine and ports. These are heavy pieces of transport equipment, rail, shipping, heavy goods vehicles, flight. And we're absolutely thrilled and delighted to be able to announce that we've renewed our grant funding agreement with them for the next 5 years as an innovation partner. And yesterday I sat in a session on heavy goods vehicles leaving our ports, and how do we manage to decarbonise that process going electric or to hydrogen. And you'll be able to join other sessions today on things like flight infrastructure, and it will be a big topic amongst us. A great example of what we do on climate action. Connected intelligence. We've been working with British Telecom, with UK Power Networks, Anglian Water, and with the Environment Agency to look at what happens when there's a critical climate instance, there's a big storm, a fire, a big wind, and things stop working. Everybody is dependent on one another. Because it's hard to share data outside your business, it's difficult to know what's going on and the cascading implications of that. So for 2 or 3 years, we've been working with lawyers and data sharing agreements between big utility companies, and then a tech infrastructure that allows that to be shared in a cyber-secure way. And we're very pleased to be running something that we call Credo. Credo's captured the imagination where lots of large utility companies are now excited to join in with that and start to be able to share data during times of climate crisis, so that we can see the relationships between different parts of our infrastructure and what it means, and doing that in a cyber-secure way and in a legally compliant way. We'll be talking more about that here. That's part of something that we call the Digital Twin Hub. Digital Twin Hub is 5,000 people from 85 countries. You're welcome to take part. You'll be hearing about it here. And that's accelerating the work of place-based digital twins. Connected intelligence. The last one, people's experience. We run something called the Innovation Districts Group. That's the 8 leading innovation districts in Britain. We bring them together, share best practices, learn and think about how to do that. And this is led by a human-connected design approach to thinking. And our human-connected design team very involved in design thinking across lots of tricky problems. Freeport Innovation Network is another one where we're bringing the Freeports together to put innovation at the core of what they do. And similarly, the Innovation Procurement Empowerment Centre is a centre of equipping public sector buying bodies who spend collectively £300 billion a year, so that they can do that in a new way that complies with the new Procurement Act that we heard from Baroness Neville Rolfe yesterday, who was here explaining how that came through Parliament and goes live later in this year. Outside at the reception, at the place you put your coat, is a wall called the Innovation as a Service wall. And that wall has a number of services that we offer to you, our customers. And we're working with lots of you in the room on your journeys as you help to transform big assets that you own, either built environment or transport systems, as you get to grips with how to do that in a net zero way, in a way that uses connected intelligence, in a way that's inclusive and puts people at the core of what you do. So that's the simplest way to explain what we're up to. But I thought it might be more interesting if you heard it from some of the people that we work with, rather than me just trying to do a pitch. So let's hear from our customers.
Our experience with Connected Places Catapult has been very positive. We are very grateful for all the support that we have received.
The guys at Catapult have really been fantastic.
Everybody I've met at the Catapult has been welcoming, knowledgeable, passionate about what they're doing.
My experience of working with Connected Places Catapult has been a really joyous one. It has opened our eyes into the industry and how we can progress as a supplier to make our proposition even more attractive.
We do a lot of work with individual startups and founders with great technology. It's really hard to break into the rail sector, but working with the Catapult will then allow them a platform to engage, adapt and learn how they can get into that kind of sector.
The collaboration with the Catapult has enabled us to build this airside refueler in a very effective way. We were able to obtain some funds to ensure that we could go out and design, build, test and operate in a very short period of time.
So it gave us a head start in terms of what we're doing to accelerate this in development, and it also gives you that ability to validate your thinking across a wide range of stakeholders.
All of a sudden, people across the industry really want to know about you. So it opens so many doors, and then once you're through those doors, there's loads of opportunities. People are really keen to find out about innovation, and then just the next step is pushing that into practice.
A Catapult is that kind of accelerator, that kind of secret sauce where you're bringing different sectors, different people, different ideas into a space where innovation can be cultivated, it can be encouraged, it can be enabled, and it can be accelerated.
We hugely value our relationship and our collaboration with Connected Places Catapult. There's loads of really clever, talented people with great ideas who make things happen